This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol Live. It's a freaking Tuesday. It's Tuesday. DJ Dub, welcome in. Julie, Meecakes, Zon, welcome. Sorry, but I should know these things. Like, I do a show that is, different depending on the day. Last night was Live Music Monday. I'm responsible for getting my clients things on time, on a schedule. I should know what day of the week it is, but I don't. In my defense, I took a nap this afternoon, so that kind of throws things off. Welcome, good evening. News be doing stupid shit, that's all I got to say. I found out why I can't broadcast to TikTok. It's because I smoked a pot. TikTok apparently, and here's the thing, we were on TikTok for like a whole 4 or 5 minutes. So apparently I'm not high enough for this shit, and hitting the bowl on TikTok yanked me right off. So I had to think about it for a second, like, do we want to be on TikTok? Do I want to take away weed smoking to be on TikTok? Because I tried it out the other day, and I'm on for like 2 minutes, and there are 10 people in the chat. So I was like, oh, this TikTok thing might work out. Let's do this. Took me out immediately. That goddamn TikTok indeed. Yeah, fuck you, Jesse. I'm sorry. Using your government name up in here. Good evening, Battle Opossum. A man totally not named Jesse. Oh, Julie, that's sweet. You never knew how much you needed the Troll Patrol. Aw. Well, I'm glad to have you here. Light one up, tip one back. Let's get high. In honor of Julie's, 3 months? 3 months. Hell yeah. My God. This is like the 4th lighter in a week that just went out on me. Be careful, he'll do ya. Yeah, that's a problem sometimes. I didn't dox you. What's Warrior, Flash? You're always making fucking, if one more person tells me to watch White Lotus, I am gonna fucking flip. One more goddamn person tells me I need to watch White Lotus. Yep, doesn't sound like something I like, Flash, sorry. Oops. My bad. I swear to God, if I get told to watch White Lotus again, I'm gonna scream. Mr. Elwood, I have no idea what Severance is. Meatcakes? I don't fucking know. Some Taiwanese show on Netflix or something. I've got my own media consumption habits. I don't need any. I only watch the news and wrestling. Me too, Meatcakes. Me too. I think it may be about a cult. I think you might be right, Flash. It's got Walton Goggins on it. So, like, you know, it would. I might have given it a shot if 50 people hadn't been like, you need to watch White Lotus. You need to watch White Lotus. You should watch White Lotus. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with White Lotus. If I didn't have that in my life, because, like, when people tell me to do something, I want to do the opposite. So don't tell me to watch something. Don't send me recommendations. I will not do it. Totally not a picture of Jeff Hardy. I tell everyone not to give me recommendations. The chat fills up with recommendations. I never seen Game of Thrones. My lord, welcome in. Did I say hey to everybody? I didn't skip anybody. Torchy, so glad to see you. Flash, watch stuff. You should watch Classic Wrestling this Saturday with JustinFREAKIN. We're going to be doing the best of Shawn Michaels WrestleMania edition. So be sure to tune in for that. A green bandana with my pink shirt. I mean, I guess we can make it happen. Battle Opossum. Okay, Battle Opossum is one of those people that likes to send TikToks to your DMs. And he'll send you fucking 10 TikToks in a day. And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm not watching any of these. You want me to pause whatever I'm doing to go to an app that is not user-friendly, especially for desktop users, and watch some fucking 30-second video that wasn't worth me pausing whatever the fuck I was watching. Like, I don't want to, I've had to go through this with people. Like, I appreciate that people think of me and be like, oh, Justin would like this. But you guys have no idea, especially as a streamer, people that don't, like, Battle Opossum is my best friend. And I fucking get pissed off at him for sending me videos all goddamn day. People that aren't my fucking friends send me videos all the fucking time. And like, it's probably a control thing. Part of it is I need to feel in control. I consume media on my own terms. But another part of it is like, if you're sending me these like 30, 40-second TikToks, they weren't worth me pausing Majority Report or fucking the Jim Cornette podcast or whatever the fuck I was actually enjoying to watch your stupid fucking... God damn, I hate TikTok brain. I hate TikTok. You people with your TikTok brain. Kill me. Like, that was not worth my time. Don't send me that stupid shit. Sorry. I, honest to God, have been sent at least 5 videos today. Did not watch any of them. So, fuck. Now you can see why I go off on people when they come in here like, will you watch this video? Coming into my chat. And like that Vermont politics. Like they seemed cool. Like they were running for office. They were like an older lady. But she just kept trying to post her own video in my goddamn chat as I'm in the middle of the news. And she was like, I'm trying to help you. I'm like, you're fucking up my show. So I don't know if we'll ever get Vermont politics back after I went off on her the other night. Well, then it's gotten to the point now, like, when I send people a video, it is good. It is something that is worth your time to watch. I want that consideration from other people. I want to be able to trust my friends that when they send me a video, it is worth my time to go out of my way to watch it. Battle Opossum doesn't do that. So I've had to put him in his place. But now with me, I never send people videos. So if I send you a video once in a goddamn blue moon, it's worth watching. But this motherfucker, he'll be like, no, don't send me videos. No. And like use my own words against me. The other day, he told me he didn't want commentary on what my cats were doing. So he tells me, like, his kid installed a video game. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. You don't have to give me a commentary what your stupid fucking kids are doing. Quesadilla, good evening. I'm going off on people tonight. I'm sorry. DJ Dub, did I tell you good evening? That's what the Discord is for. Everything's fucking labeled. I ain't gonna go in there and watch any of this shit, but go in there. Put the shit in Discord. Get it out of your system. Ducky, good evening. Warlord, good evening. I take issue with T-minus, good evening. I take issue with this meme because he said nothing of the sorts. Nowhere did this motherfucker say, oops, my bad. That was not the response that we got from Pete Hegseth last night when he finally gave a comment after the flurry of stories throughout the day about his incompetence. God damn it. Motherfucking fuck.
Can you share how your information about war plans against the Houthis in Yemen was shared with a journalist in The Atlantic? And were those details classified?
You're talking about a deceitful and highly discredited so-called journalist who's made a profession of peddling hoaxes time and time again, to include the hoaxes of Russia, or the fine people.
Oh, wow.
Or suckers and losers hoax. So this is the guy that peddles.
None of that was a hoax. None of it.
Garbage. This is what he does. I would love to comment on the Houthi campaign because of the skill and courage of our troops. I've monitored it very closely from the beginning. And you see, we've been managing 4 years of deferred maintenance under the Trump administration. Our troops, our sailors were getting shot at as targets. Our ships couldn't sail through. And when they did...
Seriously, DJ Dub, a literal quote. Now, the right-wingers like to say that, he was talking about the people protesting the taking down of the statue, the Robert E. Lee statue. And I'm always like, that was a explicitly Nazi rally. It was organized by Nazis. So who was the other side? That's every time, and they never can answer that. But like, this is so to bring this up again.
Shoot back, it was purely defensively, or at shacks in Yemen. President Trump said, no more. We will reestablish deterrence.
What is Shaq doing in Yemen?
Navigation, and we will ultimately decimate the Houthis, which is exactly what we're doing as we speak from the beginning, overwhelmingly.
Why were those details shared on Signal, and how did you learn that a journalist was privy to the targets, the types of weapons used?
I've heard I was characterized. Nobody was texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about that. Thank you. I appreciate it.
They weren't texting, they were Signal apping. Now, I very much wanted to show you this because it's quite funny, the community notes. The Atlantic included screenshots of the Signal chat. The White House confirmed the issue. Speaker Mike Johnson confirmed it. The National Security Council confirmed it to the BBC, and the NSC also confirmed it to Fox News. That's a hell of a community note. And this is from the DoD Rapid Response Twitter account posting it. The DoD got community noted. The journalist in question, Mr. Goldberg, being attacked personally by the right. Trump calling him a sleazebag.
This certainly will look at this, but the main thing was nothing happened. The attack was totally successful. It was, I guess, from what I understand, took place during, and it wasn't classified information. So this was not classified. Now, if it's classified information, it's probably a little bit different. But I always say you have to learn from every experience. I think it was very unfair the way they attacked Michael. He's a good person.
Leave Michael alone.
Happens to be a sleazebag, so maybe that's just coincidence. I don't know. He's made up a lot of stories, and I think he's basically bad for the country. But it's a failing venture, very failing venture. They're very upset, and a thing like this is publicity for them. But I don't think we should allow people that are very good, like that man sitting right at the end of the table, who's done a great job. We shouldn't allow them to be hurt by it.
Do you think that Mike Waltz made a mistake, and does he need to apologize?
No, I don't think he should apologize. I think he's doing his...
Yeah, made a mistake. What in the fuck is wrong with these reporters? They broke the law. They are not allowed to do this, one, on their personal phones. The Signal app, Politico reporting today, the Signal app cannot be downloaded to a federal phone. Therefore, they were using their personal phones to share this information. They broke the law.
Best. It's equipment and technology that's not perfect, and probably he won't be using it again, at least not in the very near future. What do you think?
Mr. President, you asked about lessons. I think there's a lot of journalists in this city who have made big names for themselves, making up lies about this president, whether it's folks or making up lies about Gold Star families, and this one in particular I've never met, don't know, never communicated with, and we are looking into and reviewing how the heck he got into this room. But I'll tell you what, the world
because I know exactly how he got into that room, because you were incompetent, because the administration is incompetent. That's how.
But I'll tell you what, the world owes President Trump a favor.
A favor? Jesus Christ, these people. Socialist Aunt, welcome in. Jeffrey Goldberg making the rounds today. He's a hot interview. Here he is on with Jen Psaki.
And joining me now for his first cable news interview since finding himself in that group chat is Jeffrey Goldberg, the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic. Let me first say, I've known you a long time. You've been covering national security issues for a long time. And
longer than you've been alive, probably.
I don't know about that.
Well,
you're not 100,
no,
but
not
yes,
100.
for quite a long time. So I just tried to do justice to your story there, which, as I noted, I read many times. You can see my highlighting, my notes, my questions.
A lot of work went in there.
Well, you know, once and always. What did I miss and what did I get wrong?
No, you got the. I think you got the main themes of it. The unreality of it, I think, is something that's very hard.
Oh, Dougie, did I tell you good evening?
Hard time explaining the unreality of it, because, as you note, you've been on one side of that divide. I've been on the other. The national security world is a pretty serious world, and especially at the level below the principals, there are people who take their responsibilities extremely seriously and take security and safety and cybersecurity and digital security very, very seriously. And there are people, we both know of people who've gone to prison for mishandling sensitive information. And so one of my problems.
I know somebody who should have gone to prison for mishandling classified information.
I've been, asked this question a few times today. It's why did you have such a hard time believing this? And the answer is because it's unbelievable. I mean, I've never experienced this through, the pre 9/11 period, 9/11, Iraq, Afghanistan, and so on. These are life and death issues, and you don't just put out specific targeting information, specific timings of attacks that have not yet taken place into a commercial messaging app. And so I obviously convinced myself, as I state in the story, that this was a disinformation operation of some kind. Somebody, a state actor, non-state actor, I don't know who.
We're trying to entrap you.
We're trying to entrap me or fool me, or I couldn't figure out what the actual motive was. That was the one of the hard parts. But I wanted to understand, what was going on here. At the end of the day, the most obvious explanation that it's just real was, for most of the time I was following this, the most improbable, because I'd never seen senior government officials act this way.
It is so stunning. I mean, I think anyone who's worked in the national security.
And also, it bears pointing out that this is apparently a Project 2025 plan to use apps that circumvent the National Records Act so that this is not archived, so that this can't be used against them.
Space in any way.
Criggs, good evening.
It reminds them of moments. It reminded me of a moment. I read the Russia memo. I was just telling you this on Russia's engagement, Russia's intervention in the election in 2016. The very last day I was in the Obama administration, I had to check it out. It was a numbered copy. It was a printed copy. I had to read it in a skiff and give it back. And there's a seriousness with which most national security officials in government take these issues. Let me ask you, one of the things that struck me is that the information shield, you mentioned the specifics of the war plan's operational details.
Right.
There was also, John Radcliffe, who has been in government before, who has had access to national security before. He was on this chain.
He shouldn't.
Director of the CIA.
Fuck, did I make it through 10 minutes in one go?
The details of someone.
Is that the first time fucking ever?
Know well enough not to share information like this, of somebody who was sounded like a covert operative.
So what happened at the beginning of this chain was the principals, the cabinet level people, were asked by Mike Waltz, who is going to be your point of contact in the next 72 hours when we move toward a strike against the Houthis, right? I'm reading this and I'm like, they're really talking about a strike against the Houthis. Radcliffe names, other people name other people who are publicly named public figures. Radcliffe names a person. I'm not going to say the name. The whole real name of this person, who is going to be his liaison. And in the course of my reporting and trying to understand, I came to understand that this is an active CIA officer. Name has never been in public before, who is
everyone on the chain may not have had need to know who this person was.
Because remember, the chain is pretty big. The chain is not just 5 intelligence officials or 4 defense officials. It's defense, intelligence, treasury. It's the chief of staff of the White House. It's people who certainly don't need to know the names. As you know from the classified world, from the secret world, the less you know, the better. Right, the less you have to go to sleep with at night, the better off you are in many ways. You can't get into trouble from not knowing something that you shouldn't know. And so I was, I have to say, somewhat astonished that he would put this official's name into what is essentially an open channel. Forget the fact that he, like everyone else,
they're incompetent.
That they were sharing that information with the editor-in-chief of the Atlantic magazine,
right,
in the same chain, because nobody had asked during the course of this, who is this JG? My initial showed up as JG.
And you don't know who that? Do you know who that is at this point?
I have no idea. I have no idea who. In other words, who Mike Waltz was looking for. I don't know. He didn't answer that question for me.
The thing about signal chats is you have to invite people. You have to list the names to create a group. So there was a conscious just adding of you to this group.
Yes.
There's been a lot of effort to respond. I noted, as I just kind of gave the summary of the piece, you got a response from the National Security Council spokesperson. no.
Oh, yeah, and every agency has been saying, just ask the National Security
Just ask
Council.
them, punting it to them.
Well, what's going on a, you could read the tea leaves here. It's Mike Waltz put this group together, not me. Don't ask me, ask him. That's what's going on.
But every one of those individuals should have known that they shouldn't be having these conversations
Look,
through a
we
signal
all
chat.
like to think that we're really good at digital hygiene, but most of us are not good at digital hygiene. And if there's a lesson here, I mean, a lesson for a normal person living in the world, it's know who you're texting with. I mean, it's kind of basic. And if, by the way, if you're running a major intelligence operation or the Pentagon, maybe you should know how to operate in a digital environment.
And you said...
Hey, here's another aspect of them operating in a digital environment.